What's up, bitches? I'm Eric Harrison, and welcome to this Friday the 13th franchise review here on Fucking Ingenious, and we have come full circle. Now, what I mean by that is that some of you longtime viewers probably know that way back in 2009, before I even created this channel, the first movie review I ever made was a really shitty-ass review of Friday the 13th, Part 7. The New Blood. It's on my channel if you really want to go see how bad it is. It's not that great. Definitely not up to today's standards. But we've come full circle. So let's review this fucking movie again. Friday the 13th, Part 7, The New Blood from 1988.
Friday, May 13th. It's Jason versus Tina.
Don't go in there!
The match made in hell.
There goes the neighborhood.
Friday the 13th, Part 7, The New Blood, rated R. Starts Friday, May 13th at a theater near you.
So Friday the 13th, Part 7, The New Blood was released in 1988 and directed by special effects meister John Carl Buechler. It's about a young girl who discovers she has telekinetic powers. She gets invited to the prom by some scheming teens where they dump pig's blood on her and it pisses her off and she starts fucking killing everybody. Oh, wait, that's not... No, that's fucking Carrie.
Why'd you have to rip off Carrie? With the sound effect and the split screen, did you ask the Palmer or Stephen King if you could rip off Carrie?
My bad. Okay, for real. Friday the 13th, Part 7, The New Blood is about a young girl who discovers she has telekinetic powers when she gets really upset. She's like, when she's fucking emotional, she destroys shit with her mind, essentially. Now, for whatever reason, her and her family live on Crystal Lake, and I have a few things to say real quick. First thing, why? I know I've said this so many times in my past reviews. Why are people still going to this fucking lake? Why do people live on Crystal fucking Lake? Don't you know what happens there all the time? You guys deserve you just deserve to die. Fuck it. The second thing I wanted to mention about Crystal Lake is, when the fuck did Crystal Lake become a dirty little swamp? When they moved production to Alabama, that's when. But I mean, it doesn't look anything like the Crystal Lake that I always, you know, grew to love watching the first few films. This shit looks gross. Anyway, back into the plot. So, she's got an abusive alcoholic father, beating his wife and shit, so Tina runs out to the boat, gets on a boat and goes on to Crystal Lake for whatever the fuck reason. The dad comes out and is like, come on back so I can beat your mom some more. And then Tina kills him with her mind and then immediately regrets it. And I don't really know why. She kind of did the world a favor getting rid of some fucking abusive asshole. Good job, Tina. Anyway, flash forward, you know, some years later, and she's apparently been in a mental institute. She got let out long enough to go back to Crystal Lake, because that's always a good idea. And where she's got this Dr. Cruz, Bad News Cruz, wants to exploit her. And he knows that she is telekinetic when she's pissed off, so he's like manipulating her into being angry all the time. And anyway, he gets what he deserves in the end. So that's your general plot. Oh, I forgot to mention, of course, there's teens like right across the way having a party, having sex, doing drugs, and then fucking dying. Because, you know, that's the formula. Gotta stick to the formula. So let's just get right into this. Friday the 13th, Part 7, The New Blood was always a favorite of mine growing up. I really liked the idea of like a telekinetic psychic teenager with the power to actually be a worthy opponent to Jason. But now that I've looked at it with a very scrutinizing eye, as I have been doing to all the films in this series during this franchise review, I definitely see the flaws. I definitely can see that it's one of the weaker entries in the series. Great idea, not the best execution. And I think there's a few reasons for this. Let me state the first one, John Carl Buechler. You're good at special effects, man. Based on your previous films like Troll and Ghoulies Go to College that you've directed, I'm thinking you should probably not have directed this movie. Maybe did the special effects, They should have got like a director. I'm sorry, John, but they should have got a director in there for this movie. I think that's the first issue. The second one is that they rushed this fucking production. According to the research I've done, it was like 6 months from the time that they started work on the film to when they released it, and that is insanely too fast. You're not going to release a good movie in 6 months. You're just not. And the third factor, I think, of why this is one of the weaker entries in the series, despite it having a really great idea, is that there was, you know, like some behind-the-scenes drama going on between the director and the fucking assistant producer, getting in the way and trying to change things, trying to maybe take over the production. So it was such a good idea, but based on all those things, they did not deliver what could have been a really, really fantastic entry in the Friday series. Someone on one of my previous videos, I'll put the comment right here, this fucking guy, or girl, guy, probably a guy, mentioned in part 7, like, the characters are really lame, and it makes it harder to get into the movie because of that, and I definitely can't disagree with you. The characters are underwritten. They really are pretty one-dimensional and lame, and this is definitely the problem that is becoming more and more of an issue as you go through the series. From the first one, and now we're up to the 7th one, they really figured less character development. Sorry, I had to close my door. Less character development, more kills and sex and shit. But then that brings me to my other complaint, is that the kills in this movie were, when they were created and filmed, were amazing. Oh, why can't this be, you know, what was in the actual final cut of the movie? The original kills were awesome. The MPAA, Motion Picture Association of America, whoever the fuck they think they are, decided, no, we gotta cut down on every kill. We don't want to see anything. You see him like swing his machete and then you cut away to the next scene. We don't see anything anymore. And this is something that the fucking whole series was predicated on, was that you got to see amazing kills. Go back and look at the first one, look at the second one. Amazing ass kills with very complicated and well put together special effects. So like, the people that did the special effects did all this for basically nothing, because it was all cut out. It's a real shame. And then, but you know, here's the thing I don't understand. They're okay with all the teens having sex, they're okay with all the teens doing drugs, but to show somebody's well-crafted art of the special effect, no, can't do that. Whatever. So anyway, let's jump into, now that I've complained a bit, let's jump into some of the few things the positives about this movie. First and foremost, of course, I have to mention, number 7 brings in Kane Hodder as Jason for the first time. He does 4 in a row, starting with number 7. And now I'm not just jumping on some bandwagon when I say Kane Hodder is the best fucking Jason. I'm not just trying to go along with popular opinion. He is a fucking badass. He's wearing like this full suit with the mask. They really went through a lot of trouble to bring Jason to life as a character with a full bodysuit, but Kane inside that suit, like, just really giving it a lot of life, a lot of presence, really like trying to project through it. That's what makes him, in my opinion, the best Jason in the series. I wish he had always been Jason, because he knows how to fucking bring him to life and have like this fucking attitude in his movements, and he's just like, if he'll just be standing there and just like looking just fucking angry, it's awesome. So other positives about the movie, well, when it gets going, like the first half is blah. Once it starts to get going, like in the second half, you get some great stunts going on. You got Kane Hodder doing what was at the time the longest fire burn on camera. Then you've got a really badass explosion where they just completely just fucking blow this house to shreds. It's awesome. So here's an interesting fact. Elizabeth Catan, who played Robin in this movie, her original death scene, I guess the studio didn't feel it was good enough, so they needed to reshoot. They decided to reshoot her death scene in the Jarvis house in California from part 4. And she gets thrown through the window, very much like one of the characters from part 4 gets thrown through the window. So, coincidence? I don't know what's going on there, but that is pretty cool that we actually get to see the fucking Jarvis house again for a few moments in this movie. What else is there to say about part 7? Like I said, I always liked it until closer scrutiny. I really realized the flaws in it great potential, failed execution for the most part. It picks up once the psychic battle starts taking place, but you know, the whole first half is, you can pretty much leave it. So I'm gonna give it a 2.5 out of 5. This is where I would normally say check it out, but yeah, in this case, skip the first hour, just watch like the last 30 minutes. Alright, welcome back, gang. I'm Eric Harrison, and your mom, you know what she is. She's what the hell? That's what I always resort to. I always resort to insulting your mom. Are we even recorded? Oh shit, we are. Fucking Arizona. Fucking ingenious.